What's up, y'all? Happy New Year, yo. So, I learned, first of all, in 2022, about, like I said before, belonging rather than fitting in. But also, I realized that in 21, people move different or differently, but different is the colloquialism. And in 22, I moved different. I had no choice but to, be who I am, and also to learn how to walk with people according to, not trying to match their energy, but according to who they were or showing themselves not to be in my life. And not only that, even with me and just my relationship with God, it was a whole different thing. I remember just being like, God, I ain't got it. You gotta carry me through this. So more and more every day, I'm learning that I do have the gift of helps. Yes, I'm here to be here for people. That's a gift of mine, but I am not a superhero. If you ain't got it, you just ain't got it. And if you do, you do. I saw myself strengthened in some areas, and I saw myself willing to be weak in some areas. And it's cool. I'm not stressing about it. I learned to receive more this year, just all that type of stuff. There was a lot of things about me that I am who I am, but I had to, because it was almost like I was put in a position where I had to allow myself to just be more real, more transparent, or less transparent when I needed to be. So I'm thankful for that. And I learned a lot about grieving and loss. And to be honest, that's how my year started. Like literally January 1st, I was already battling with loss. Loss is not always about losing people. Sometimes it's about other experiences and other things that you involuntarily have to give up. And that was rough, on top of the amount of funerals I went to this year. And one of the things I learned about loss and grieving is that no one person has the magic word or the magic answer to make it stop. It's a process. Don't hold on to it longer than you should. Grieve, allow yourself to feel it, be patient with yourself, but then also allow yourself to move on when you need to and say, okay, it's time for me to live again. It's time for me to not be guilty about surviving, whatever it is, whether it's losing a loved one or something else. It's like, okay, that happened, and now let's keep it moving. So, but then also a thing I learned about grief is, while no one person has the answer, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't make the effort to be there for people, because it takes every seed, it takes every word, it takes every prayer, every meal that's prepared, every flower that is bought, every friendly call or text. During one of my deepest grieving periods this year, I was in counseling. I was in therapy. I was calling my pastor all the time for his prayers and his biblical wisdom and advice that he gave me, and just his support, even above and beyond that. Him just being there to hear me out. Not saying nobody else did, but he was just on another level of being able to be there for me. Super thankful for him, because I know he has his own stuff that he deals with. He's a human, but he's still willing to be there for me through my stuff. And then I ended up in this class about healing, and it was every week, and we were in there studying the word and listening to other people's testimonies. And it took all of that plus some more stuff. And I have to say, I have to inject this because I left this out when I was talking about all the things I was doing to help me survive and heal through my grieving processes. The word. I cannot leave out the word, the word, the word. Every Sunday, every Tuesday, the word. The healing class I was in, the word. Reimagine You was a 52-day every afternoon at lunchtime, the word. Worship as well was something that God really birthed in my spirit, or I ain't gonna say birthed in my spirit, that sounds too deep, but that God kind of reminded me of during one of my many conversations with my pastor was about worship. When you don't know what to pray, just press into your relationship with God and worship. Worship. And spending. So when I wasn't at my church on live or anything like that, I was listening to old pre-recorded way back in the archives messages, word, to even survive my period of grief, let alone allow myself to heal from it. So take it all in. But also to those of you who are trying to be there for people during their grief, be sure to do every little thing that you can, because there's no magic answer. You might do what the Lord has told you to do for somebody and they still might be sad. And that's okay, but they need all of it. And now it's time for me and for us to learn to go to the next level of celebrating. And so I'm super excited to say hello. There's been lots of goodbyes this year, but now it is time for restoration. That's a whole vlog in and of itself about how the Lord had been dealing with me regarding restoration, but also just excitement and joy and jubilation for what God is going to do in 2023, what he already has set up for us to walk into. So I just wanted to do my last little vlog for this year. I'm out here walking, getting my exercise in for the day, doing this 30-day challenge. I think I'm on like 15 now, 14, 15, something like that. So we're halfway through that. And I got to work on my eating because y'all know I like to eat. yeah, there's so much more I want to share that God has done, and that I know God is doing. So I'm excited, and y'all stay tuned because I'm still here vlogging my little heart out. Peace.